let me quickly take you up on the issue of the president. When are we likely to have him back?
I think the president made it clear when he was leaving that his stay, the length of his stay will be determined by his doctors. And the most authentic news we have so far is the one from the wife of the president, who came back last week and said the president is recovering very fast. And I think that's the best, we can say now.
Have you been able to speak with him since he left?
No, I don't have to.
You don't have to, or you have not?
I don't have to.
Why wouldn't you? You work. You are his minister of information. You should have some information.
There's an acting president.
So, I mean, the question is, you probably have heard that when the wife of the president went, there are stories that the woman didn't even see the president. Did she see the president?
I have no reason to doubt what the wife of the president said.
But did she see the president?
I have no reason to doubt what the wife of the president said. If the wife of the president comes out and says, I saw my husband, and my husband is, doing very well, I have no reason to doubt her.
Well, if you look at some of these, maybe we should quickly take a look at this. When the president left on the 5th of June 2016, at first to treat an ear infection, the president visited the United Kingdom to treat that. In January 19, routine medical checkup in 2017, and the presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina informs Nigerians that the president is going for a routine medical checkup and will return on February 6th. January 22nd, the president said that he's sharing a picture of himself watching channel television, and on the 10th of March, the president returned to the country after spending about 50 days. And on the 26th of April 2017, he said he will be working from home. And on the 7th of May, the president leaves Nigeria on a medical trip for the 4th time since his inauguration and handed over to Vice President Osinbajo. But as it stands right now, if you look at the plans of the president and what the acting president is doing, a lot of people are saying maybe or maybe not the president might contest in 2019. Do you think your principal will contest in 2019?
I think it's too presumptuous and preposterous to start thinking about who's going to contest or not.
You are a politician, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. I mean, you are thinking of 2019 in 4 years away. I mean, we know the ways of politicians.
I think it's very, inappropriate right now to start talking as to who is going to contest 2019 or not. I am the spokesperson of government and not that of a political party.
You did speak for the party at some point when we wonder maybe you still have some information as to the plan of your party. Well, a big question comes on some of the plans of your party, of your government. For example, the anti-corruption war, which you said you're going to fight and you're going to take on as a major agenda of government. But if you look at some of the cases now that your government has lost, when we wonder whether or not that fight is still active. For example, Professor Issa Sage has come out to say, and he was quoted to have said that there is a need for the review of the anti-corruption strategy. Do you think so?
Of course, yes. I agree with him. You see, the important thing, and what the rest must know, is that we cannot be a judge in our own cause. We will prosecute and the judiciary will give judgment. But if we lose a case, of course we must look inward and say, why have we lost this case? Is it because of, shoddy preparation or what? And that is, I think that's exactly what, Professor Sage is saying.
The case of El Dazaki, the case of Dasuki and some others that were granted bail and they're still being kept. Why is the government keeping these people despite the fact that there's some judgment or some rulings that have asked that these people be granted bail?
No, I think there's a lot of deliberate misunderstanding on these issues. Number one, if a judgment is given and that judgment is appealed, you cannot accuse the government of violating, a court order if that judgment has not been, if the appeal has not been decided. Two, In the case of El Zaki, how many Nigerians know that El Zaki is actually not in prison custody, no police custody, no SS custody?
Where is he?
El Zaki is in a house, with his family. This is the honest truth, and this is because it's in what is called protective custody. The court ruled that he be released after his house has been rebuilt. Nobody wants to accept El Zaki as a neighbor. So we've been able to build the house. So where do we release him to? In the case of Dasuki, you see, in every government will always tread this very, thin line between personal liberty and national security. And I think you must give government, the credit to determine what is national security. And in the case of, Sambo Dasuki, the issue is a grave one. If a person is in possession of $1.2 billion,
allegedly,
thank you, which he has, and there are records, that's what we call, there are records that he moved in one day $1.2 billion in 2 transactions. We know the banks he moved them to, and you refuse to tell us what we've done with that money. I don't think it would be prudent to jeopardize the national security of a whole nation because of the individual freedom of one person. Because with $1.2 billion, you can destabilize the whole country. You see, all those who have been criticizing, us about, rule of law or the other, I just wish that they would have the opportunity to be in government just for for a short time, and we will see how difficult it is to balance, personal freedom with national security.
I would have loved to take you on so many other issues lined up here. Because of our time, we need to go now. But just in 30 seconds, if you will tell Nigerians, has your party disappointed Nigerians based on the promises you made to Nigerians in 2015? And do you even think your party can win any elections based on your performance right now? Just in the 30 seconds.
That's a very unfair. I cannot do that in 30 seconds. But I will tell you this. We have kept faith with our promise to Nigerians. We promised we are going to fight corruption, fighting corruption. We promised we are going to fix the economy, we are fixing the economy. We promised we are going to
fight. The economy is in recession?
For God's sake, you see, Sheung, when we
promised jobs, but the jobs are not there. People are being sacked every day.
Sheung, if you will listen, I think it will benefit Nigerians more.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Thank you. We employed 200,000 unemployed graduates through our Knowledge program. We created thousands of jobs in the agricultural sector. We took manufacturing from recession to positive growth.
Okay, because of our time, so that we can round up now, because of the time. Okay. Do you think your party can win the election in 2019?
Absolutely.
All right. We must leave it to that. Thank you so much, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information and Culture. Always a pleasure having you on the program.
Welcome.
Just before we go, no doubt the rhetorics of hate and prejudice in politics are becoming more popular, even across the world, and sometimes allowed to win. That explains the trend we've seen even in some of the oldest democracies. But in France, while many were obsessed with the age of who won or the age gap in his relationship, the message of love and rational argument he presented were relegated. Divisive narratives built to create fear, or the idea of building a war against our neighbors, may sometimes be more appealing or convincing. We have a choice, of course. Like the acting president said during his meeting with Southeast leaders, if we throw words like stones into a marketplace, we do not know who or what it will hit. That's my point tonight. Let's give love a chance. That's our show. I'm Seun Okimale. Bye for now.